All right, so I'm going to give you a deck profile on the scraps that I'm running. You know what, man? I'm going to be honest with you, man. All right, I'm going to go through it so you can see it. We're going to start with him. This guy's optional. You don't have to put him in there. I just did it because I'm a scrap user. I know a lot of people will utilize other things. I need her because she does the infinite negate loop. I do 3 of him. I do 2 of the scrap sharks. I do 1 of the scrap orthros. You could put 2 if you want in, but that's why you got the new scrap raptor. I do 3 of the scrap chimeras. 1 of the beasts. Again, you don't really need more than 1 because you got level 4s right here. You got a level 4 over here. So we run 3 of him. It's just a broken card in general. And he destroys any card. It doesn't have to be any of your card. So you could see this on what was that? The fire onslaughts, the or whatever it is. The fire was the one where you could destroy cards in your hands or something like that. I don't know if that'll work on that, but I know it'll work on in the on the field. We're running 1 summoner monk because just in case you have like some maybe dead cards in your hand, you could discard 1 of your magic cards. You need her to do the infinite negate loop, I should say. I do 1 of the scrap golems, just scrap goblins, just in case I need like a wall for maybe 1 or 2 turns. Probably won't last that long because a lot of these decks have ways around it. It's not like back in the day when you could sit on a marshmallow and be like, yeah, you can't get into me, and they're like, oh no, now we can. So I run 2 of the scrap searchers just because it's a level 1, and you can actually use it as a Black Rose Dragon to pop your other team. Like I've summoned it onto their side, and since it becomes their card, a lot of the cards that they have is like it stops your opponent from destroying your cards, right? But because that becomes your card, it destroys anything that's not scrap when it's special summon. So it works pretty good. Scrapyard, I run 3 of them because I can always discard with Summoning Monk. I run 2 of this, even though it's only targeting 1 card. Again, you can throw it away with Summoning Monk. I run 1 Monster Reborn. I run 1 Twin Twisters. You don't really need Twin Twisters in the scraps, but it lets you discard a card. So let's say that I open up with Scrap Chimera and I just need to put a target into the graveyard, and I'm going second. I'm able just to toss a card right into the graveyard and do my own shenanigans. Any of these cards really work. I run 3 of the Scrap Storm because why not? It's a scrap deck. And Scrap Factory, a little shout out to Terminator 2, if you know what this picture's from. And I run 2 of these. You're probably like, why are you running 2 of them? Well, they put face down, and it puts a target up there for Scrap Wyvern, because Scrap Wyvern is a card that you could target any other card on the field, your opponent's card, and your card after you do the rest the rest of his effect, and then you can destroy 1 of his, so I still have targets. And a lot of times, if they have monsters where you can't target them to destroy them, but if they're face down, you could do it because they're face down. Their effect won't work. So yeah, I do that. So I use the breakthrough skill. I have 2 of these because it's really good in the graveyard. Again, you could just pitch it if you want to pitch that. I do safe zone. This card's actually really cool because a lot of people are like, well, why'd you put safe zone? Like there's so many. Why don't you run the what was the other card that you can negate from your hand, and it's something impenetrable something. It's a trap that you can activate from your hand. It's like a $70 card or something like that, and everybody runs it, but I don't use it in this deck because I like to see like I have my skill breakthrough. My breakthrough skill is pretty good. It works pretty good. But anyway, save zone, I can actually chain that. So let's say that the Mystical Space Typhoon one of my cards, I could chain that onto their monster if it's in a face attack position. So it'll destroy that card and then destroy their monster. So I get to play around with that. That's almost like the, what was that? The widespread dud. Well, save zone works the same way. So that's pretty cool. All right, so let's go down here. We're going to do the twin scrap. Let's see. Twin scrap. I run 3 of him just because you're running scrap golem and he's easy to get out. I'm running 1 of him because it's easy to put any of these into the graveyard. And plus you do put him into the graveyard once you summon him and you summon him. So he does go into the graveyard. So he goes up to like 3850 and he has 3 negates of his own. So not bad. You got 3 scrap dragons. I don't run the level 7 scrap Archfiend. Yeah, I don't really need it. I do 1 of him, Sacred Beast. The only reason I don't like really messing with synchros or a lot of other monsters is because this card right here, like I said, it destroys a lot of it destroys every other card that's not scrap, right? So yeah, unless you have this guy and he ain't gonna get touched. I run 1 of him because, again, why not? Self-explanatory. He's a staple. Infinite negate loop, and then I do 3. I do 3 of him, just because. Why not? Scrap Wyvern. Broken in this deck with this card and this card. Broken. And then I do Union Carrier. Union Carrier lets me get out. And since they're all Earth and, and since I can like target 1 card and then I can bring out 1, it goes up to 1,000. So I usually bring out 1 of him and put it in my Spell a Trap card zone. And then when this gets destroyed, it goes into the graveyard. So it just recycles himself. Again, there's a lot of stuff you could play around with. And I don't have a side deck because, like I said, I'm not really competing against anybody. If we're going to play a duel match, then I would. But, this is my take on my my scrap deck right now. So let me know what you think.